Good morning and welcome, dear children. In today's video, we will continue with Standard 7th English, Unit 3, poem number 3.4, The Brook, written by Alfred Lord Tennyson. In part 1, we have studied about what is a brook and its origin. Now, let us continue with the third stanza. I went about in and out with here a blossom sailing, and here and there a lusty trout, and here and there a grayling. Here, blossom sailing means flowers that flow along with water. Lusty trout and grayling are the fishes that are present in water. The poet says that the brook moves in a zigzag manner here and there. One can even see flowers floating on its surface. One can even find fishes like lusty trout and grayling which are moving here and there in the water. Next he says, and here and there a foamy flake upon me as I travel, with many a silvery water break above the golden gravel, and draw them all along and flow to join the brimming river, for men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. Here foamy flakes means bubbles that are produced in water. So while flowing we can even see water bubbles, that is foamy flakes on the surface of the water. Then we can also find the sunbeam that falls on the surface of the water. It looks as if the water is shining. It also moves along the golden gravel. Children, you must have visited a beach or a river. I know most of you must have looked and observed what all you can see in the water. You can name some of the things that you have observed. Yes, we see clean and clear water. Then we also find some fishes, then flowers floating on the water. We even find some small pieces of rocks and sand, which is somewhat yellowish brown in color, right? So, such pieces of rocks are known as gravel. It looks golden because of the reflection of sun's light. When the water further flows, it carries along with it flowers, foamy flakes, then gravel, shining along with the sunlight, and then it joins the brimming river. In the last stanza, he says, I slip, I slide, I gloom, I glance. Among my skimming showers, I make the netted sunbeam dance against my sandy shallows. I murmur under moon and stars. In brambly wilderness, I linger by my shingly bars. I loiter round my cresses. And out again I curve and flow to join the brimming river, for men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. Here the brook passes silently by lawns and grassy plots. Why is the flowing water silent over here? Yes, because the day is going to end and now it is turning dark. It slides by small hazel trees. It takes the sweet forget-me-not flowers along with it. We even find the birds like swallow who skims and flies over its surface. And when the sunbeam or the sunlight falls on its surface, they appear as if they are dancing. So, you see how happily the brook is enjoying its journey? It slips, it slides, glooms, glances merrily while flowing. Later, the brook also passes through thorny wilderness at night. Wilderness means an uncultivated or inhabited land where no human beings stay. When it goes to such land, what happens there? It moves and it murmurs under the moon and stars which shine. And then it flows very slowly by its shingly bars. Now, what are shingly bars? Shingly bars here in this poem means a fence of wood that has been put up in a field. Later, it loiters around the pungent leaved plants like creases, and then it further curves and flows to join the brimming river again. It says that men may come and go, but my journey will never stop. It continues and goes on forever. Analysis of the poem. Here, the poet has related this poem with the life of humans. The brook appears to be a symbol of life. It describes the journey of a brook from its sources to the river that it joins. The poem, in fact, is an autobiography in which the brook has been personified. Like men, the brook has a beginning, a middle, and an end. The brook is just like a newborn child when it emerges from the haunts of coot and hern. Like a child grows up rapidly, the brook too makes a sudden sally. Just like the young child at its youth, like a strong person with full of courage and enthusiasm, the brook hurries down, sallies, bickers, and chatters in its youth, denoting youthfulness. Like men in its old age, shed of anger and become peace-loving and wise, the brook too avoids clashes with the disturbance it faces on its courses. It flows by them quietly and smoothly. Human beings are the source of support to the others. Similarly, the brook too supports the life in it. Finally, the poet says that just like the journey of brook, the human beings have to face many ups and downs before they are finally successful. The concluding message given by the poet is that one should not give up. Instead, we should overcome our difficulties and keep on moving happily till the target is achieved. The bottom line of this poem is, man is mortal while the brook goes on forever. I hope everybody has understood this poem very well. Your work today is to read and understand all the difficult words and read and learn the poem.